So Batman Caped Crusader has dropped its first season over on Amazon Prime, and all in all, I think most fans generally enjoyed the show. Anytime there's a successful first season of anything, the big question on everybody's mind tends to be when will we get to see a season 2? And despite this particular project cooking for a really long time, I'm actually pretty hopeful, based on a new update from Timm himself, that we might not be waiting as long. Now, as many of you know, Batman the Caped Crusader, well, it took a really long time for fans to finally get to see the project. It was first announced way back in May of 2021, and when we found out Timm was coming back, well, fans got super excited. Now, behind the scenes, a lot of stuff happened, and eventually we got word the show was likely to be cancelled, but fortunately, it found its way over to Amazon Prime. Timm, Matt Reeves, and J.J. Abrams were allowed to finish up that first season with Ed Brubaker, and we even found out there were plans for a season 2. So what's the status on season 2? Well, I know I'm not the only one hoping for a much shorter production time, given the first time took over 3 years. And it seems like they're still early in the process, but the train is out of the station. Now recently, Timm, who is kind of spearheading this current Batman Caped Crusader project, and is the legendary man behind Batman the Animated Series, well, he took a second to talk to the Wrap. And although it does sound like they're early in the process, it is actually happening. He said, "We're still working on the scripts and starting to record. We got a long way to go." Now, this is a short statement, but we can take quite a few things from it. He said 2 things out and out. They are working on the scripts, and they have started recording. Now, this is good news because what that means is they're moving into multiple stages all at the same time. It's not uncommon for all the scripts to be done before production commences once again, but it sounds like to me, given how much time it took between season 1's announcement and the final release date, well, they've probably had a lot of time to work on the scripts, and if they're recording already, well, they're very nicely ahead of schedule. Now, what that schedule is, we really don't know. This project took over 3 years to make its way from announcement to release, and we follow a lot of animation around here, and that's a really long time. Now, when we examine other projects like Young Justice, those projects are typically about 18 months between announcement and release, and I highly suspect if this show is already recording, well, we're looking very much at another 18-month release window. Now, there's a possibility that late next year, well, this project gets up and at 'em and we do get a second season of Caped Crusader, but I find it very unlikely we'll see the Batman return around the same time in August for a second season. I think the best the production company and Amazon can hope for is probably close to a holiday release, which also would be a pretty great time window considering how many people are at home watching this material, and that this first season was released all at one time, which is something that works better when people actually have time to sit down and watch it. Now, beyond that, we don't know a lot else. I'm pretty sure the key players in the Batman universe are definitely coming back. It was pretty clear by that end-of-season cliffhanger. They've got some plans for the Joker, and I expect a whole nother litany of fairly obscure Batman villains to find their way to life. The biggest questions for me is how supernatural will the second season be, and when does Ra's al Ghul finally show up? Tell me what you think in the comments below.